Hi everyone, this is Practical. Welcome to killz1994 versus Robauke, Robauke. I should ask him how to pronounce his name. This is the fifth match of the first round of the second Card Hunter Peasant tournament, and we're just starting here. So both parties seem to be 1-1-1 builds. Killz is with the white bases, and Rob is with the black bases. With the human warrior, human wizard, elf priest versus elf warrior, dwarf wizard, human priest. On Gladius Wall here. White Sorcerer points out that these builds aren't just elves with Bejeweled Shortsword. That's true, that's good. There is a lot of Bejeweled Shortsword in this tournament. It'll be interesting to see how jamming that goes in the final standings. Here we have two very good players. Passing around here, we got lava on this difficult terrain, which allows characters to cross it as though it weren't difficult. Back. So Winds of War is probably one of the better cards in this format. It's nowhere near as good as it was the last time there was a Peasant tournament when it could move two characters, but it's still quite good. Rob takes the victory square. I wonder what this elf warrior is going to do. The elf warrior passes. All right. So Rob gets the first victory star. Looks like he's trying to just get in. And Killz starts fighting with a vicious thrust. Ooh, wimpy. The priest has no blocks. So what Rob is probably deciding right now is whether or not to run away with the priest. Or maybe whether or not to play Nimbus. The priest turns his back, runs away, using that lava to get on the other side of the difficult terrain. And Rob's using another Winds of War to keep the Dwarf Wizard out of line of sight, which is a pretty good strategy. All right, so that elf just attacked. We see a barred plate from the human warrior, and it didn't proc, but now the human warrior is fighting back, getting through a parry with a fainting strike, not doing the full 9 damage due to Wimpy. The elf suddenly seems pretty low health, as elves are wont to. Help the weak. Helps. And Rob also heals. So suddenly there's a lot less damage on the board. And that elf does still have a parry up, which is going to be a problem for Rob eventually. So for now, Rob is holding that victory square. I think it's probably a pretty big deal for Killz that his wizard has been out of commission 2 rounds in a row. He got no use out of the Unholy Wellspring. It's now gone. He still has a spark generator. And we see Elven Maneuvers, one of the best cards in the format. I didn't handle the first 4 matches of the round. That was CT5 as referee. He suggested that Elven Maneuvers has been a key player in deciding outcomes, which makes sense. It is humongous card advantage at a very low cost. All right, Rob makes more lava. And finally, that wizard has line of sight to the victory square, which is probably what Killz was trying to do all along. Boiling Armor takes out Barred Plate, and Entangling Roots. Wow, that's awesome. Entangling Roots keeps the Elf Warrior from being able to play step attacks, among other things. And the second Fainting Strike, will it get through parry? Yep. This elf might be in trouble, but no? Rob's retreating with his human wizard. I wonder where he's trying to go and why. Maybe just get out of line of damage. Purge the halt from the Entangling Roots. Wow, okay, so Killz' warrior is back online. Ostensibly has some vicious thrusts, but a good question for him is whether or not he wants to get in line of sight of Rob's wizard. The players both have about 5 minutes left on the clock. And there's the vicious thrust. Perplexing Ray takes out a Cautious Snake. Okay. A Lunging Hack is the only follow-up to that Vicious Thrust. So the human warrior is still very much alive right now. Honda One is doing live commentary in the lobby. Awesome. All right. Elf is on lava now. If he takes that damage, he'll be at 3, so he's almost certainly going to dash away. Rob goes for the distant victory point here. And killz is just passing. Okay, so Rob's getting a third point from victory point. It's going to be hard for that human to get back in the fray, probably. You know, any powerful attack is going to kill him at this point. Vicious thrust leaves him at 1. Ooh, he used jump soldier, but the elf was immovable. All right, Robauke maintains priority despite that blunder. Oh, it looks like he would have had it if he turned him around. But he should probably just run away with that human now. Good. Killz follows. He wants the kill. Yep. All right. That's where I would go with the elf priest. You threaten to hit the warrior from behind. Ooh, but the vicious thrust lets him turn, getting the parry online. What does Arenicus have? Yep. All right. Keeps him from playing step attacks off of the elven maneuvers. Both wizards are basically out of the fight at this point. We've got another unholy wrestling online. And parry procs into it. Yeah. Yep. There we go. And with that, I think Rob wins. Nope. Not yet. Can always appreciate elf priests with big damage attacks. But now killz wizard might be able to do a number on the priest. Okay. Purging Spray takes out the pushback parry, and killz just ends the round. Okay, so his wizard didn't have anything to attack with. Going into round 5 here, Rob at 5 stars, killz at 2. It's going to be hard for killz to win this one, I think. Even if he takes out the priest, which he now can't do, I'm pretty sure he would have to have 2 people on victory squares to get the last 2 points to win at 6. And he'd also have to make sure that Rob never gets a point, because that would be a win for Rob. So this wizard, killz wizard, has not demonstrated a lot of anything yet. Pulls priest, draws some cards, and is now in line of fire, from Rob's Human Lizard, who can get back on the victory square after casting spells. Two minutes left on the clock here for kills. It's a pretty tough spot. That dwarf wizard has been having a lot of problems, like being a dwarf has hurt it a lot, I think, actually. Keeping it from moving around the board with the ease with which Rob's wizard has moved around. Oh, healing dash is nice. Gets back up to Rob's priest, gets out of line of sight. Missile block fails against entangling roots. That can happen. Not expected. So again, Rob's priest might go down here. But it's hard to imagine that Rob won't just win by getting back on the victory square. Gets on the victory square and can killz get on the victory square? That's the big question. Nope, killz concedes, passes, and Rob wins. That's game one for Rob. All right, so that was game one. We're going to move on to game two shortly. No sideboarding is going to happen. So we're going to move on to the next stage, which is Maztec Melee. That's a pretty fun one. It looked for a second like killz might have still been in it when he took out the warrior and then almost took out the priest. Or did, in fact, take out the priest, but that entangling roots apparently got him. So that's what killz said. So maybe he had movement to get back on the victory square. It still seems like a hard game to win once he's back on the victory square because he's taking damage from the lava. His dwarf wizard, again, is just too slow to do anything. Alright, so we'll be starting up momentarily. I'm not sure if Rob's K is okay, he's ready. Alright, let's get started. It's been a while since I've recorded any Card Hunter, and a very long time since the last Peasant tournament. Alright, so the second game of the match is about to start on Maztec Melee, which is a board created by Leisure Suit Warriors. And let's see what we have here. So killz is on the black bases this game. And Rob is on the white. Again, being a dwarf, really not that great. Can't get onto this difficult terrain. It's going to take 2 walks to get into the central arena. Of course. Whoa, that's an interesting elf position in kills. I'm going through some traits on Rob. Not too much to say about these positioning moves. Oh, okay, he's got the what? That's just curious to me that killz didn't put his elf warrior on this victory square here. Rob is making pretty normal plays, getting on difficult terrain in the hopes of being able to get onto victory next turn, next round. Cool. All right, so the walk team puts Rob's priest on difficult terrain, and let's get this Winds of War, that poor dwarf. Oh man. Yeah, kills Dwarf Wizard. Alright. It's a sad story for the Dwarf Wizards. And Rob takes the victory squares. He will probably be able to hold them for at least 2 turns now. Since killz isn't even in the central arena yet, he has to get on the difficult terrain, and then Rob's Wizard actually can see all the difficult terrain and cast Winds of War on anyone who tries to approach. Interesting move with this priest. Maybe he wants to play some supporty cards on the Dwarf Wizard. Life is a lot harder for wizards when they don't have access to burst. Burst is only at rare. And so we're not going to see any Ember bursts, any Arcane bursts, any Fireballs from either wizard in this match. Rob is just passing, as is correct. I think he's on the victory square. He's in really good positions with his characters. And killz currently is not even posing a threat to Rob's position. All right. Winds of Warring, the priest into line of fire onto hotspot. Maybe he's got another movement card. I can't imagine that he wouldn't have a movement card because it seems like a really bad play with that one. Knowing that peasant wizards often have lava from Hot Blast Staff or Runestone, and if he had a move card, he should have used it because now he's stuck on the lava, barring a purge. We've seen a lot of roots from Rob's priest, and I think roots is a really strong card in peasant. For one thing, it's good against all these step attack warriors. For another, it's really good with lava, which is the main tool for dealing damage for wizards and peasant is lava. You can Mighty Spark it, but I think Wallfire is lower quality, so easier to put in your deck. You can get it off arcane items. Alright, so that shot goes into a parry on the human warrior, who's now sensitive and limpy. Alright, that Rotting Club is an interesting choice. Hasn't hurt yet. Awesome. Alright, so got the +2 from Bruiser and the -2 from Limpy on that strong dash. So the Elf Warrior has only a parry left, which we saw from probably the Priest strikes here. And Priest cleanses the terrain, but then Rob's Wizard puts lava under kills Warrior. So it's looking really bad for kills. Rob's characters are all at full health. Kills Wizard again is not even in line of sight. We see Jump Soldier and Winds of War from the human wizard, and bad luck is going to make that parry slightly worse. Now, Killz is in a very tough spot here. If he runs in, a Winds of War puts him back on lava. Right this way. It really seems like the big problem for Killz is that his Dwarf Wizard has cast no spells, essentially. In 2 games now, he's played Winds of War on his own priest once. That was an interesting use of Jump Soldier, seemed very non-critical. Maybe he was expecting blocks. After seeing the missile shield, or the missile block. Oh boy. Runs on the victory with his damaged elf warrior, and could very easily be followed or have Winds of War cast on him. The question is, does Rob want to pursue? And the answer is yes. It's almost inconceivable that Rob would lose the game if he manages to take out this warrior. What Killz really needs is to heal the warrior somehow, get him back in the game. Interestingly, Rob's move here prevents the Winds of War idea of getting the warrior back on lava, which is probably fine. He might have multiple answers to the situation. Multiple ways of killing him. Okay, his charge. It's funny. Rob takes out the elf warrior, and we see a stab from the priest. Vulnerable is made up for by thick hide armor. So Staff of Winter is legal in this Peasant tournament, among a bunch of other items. Special rule this time around is that if a rare item has no rare cards on it, it is legal. So this wizard's playing like 2 damage attacks, long strikes. Not really threatening. Ooh, that's a threat. But is it a big enough threat? Because Rob can take that damage and then survive, and he doesn't need to take it multiple times. He just needs to stand on this victory square for 2 more rounds. He plays safe and gets off the victory square. That's fair. If he stays, don't know what could happen. But actually, even if killz managed to take out the priest, should just put his own wizard. Yep, he puts his wizard on the lava. And Winds of War sending away the dwarf again. And Rob's at 5 stars. Almost inconceivable that killz win at this point. Rob does have a lot of traits here, a lot of handicaps, defensiveness among them. The priest might need to get on the lava. That might be the priest's job at this point. Rob is a little low on time. He's got 2.5 minutes. killz has 4.5. So killz needs to get on that lava or else he loses. He needs to get on the lava or deal with the wizard somehow. He only has a few cards, probably not enough to deal with the wizard. Wizard's defensiveness doesn't stop Jump Soldier. So if killz doesn't have another move card, that's probably the game. And yeah, he resigns. Okay, so Rob takes that pretty decisively. The first game was a little closer. Second game was a blitz. And Rob's passing. killz passes. That's the game. That's 2 wins for Rob. So that's a match win for Rob. So thanks for watching. That was, again, the 5th match of the first round of the second Card Hunter Peasant Tournament. The 6th match will be in about an hour. And yeah, hope you tune in then. All right, take care, everyone, and see you next game.